Bitcoin, please go to moon. Stop going sideways now. Don't ever say we going down to 1K, but Mr. Novogratz say we have bottomed out. Bottomed out, Novogratz is bullish. Bottomed out, don't ever rise is bearish.
Bearish target of 1300.
Novogratz is bullish.
Bitcoin could be at 40,000.
Let us go to moon.
Yo, welcome everyone to today's cryptocurrency price prediction and technical analysis live stream. Bitcoin is right now, for the past few days, still trading in our major rising wedge pattern. Only a few days ago, we hit the bottom support level almost exactly, and right now we are actually already getting a very nice rotation back towards the upside. And on today's cryptocurrency live stream, I really want to show you exactly what I am right now expecting next. Why I still do think if the area where we are right now, if of course we break it towards the upside, we can be looking for a price target of approximately 80,000 US dollars. I'm also going to show you the target if Bitcoin is potentially going to break the rising wedge pattern, maybe even towards the upside. I don't think this is the highest probability, but nevertheless, if the rising wedge right here does get a break up, potentially, of course, we can even be looking for much higher targets on the Bitcoin price itself. But also, I'm going to show you what can be our next trade. Of course, if you are in our free VIP Discord server, you probably know about this exact support level, the value area low, and also, of course, right here, the golden Fibonacci ratio. Bitcoin has been trading approximately at this area for the past few days. And right now, clearly, we are getting right here a beautiful rotation back towards the upside. So for sure, I do think that today's live stream is going to be a very important and a very interesting one. But before we start this one, I would really like to welcome everyone right here. Because yeah, it does look like a lot of you have already been joining the live stream. Of course, hopefully your day have been an amazing one, and potentially this live stream is going to make your day even better. Again, okay, you're a wizard. Good videos, man. Thank you very much for a very nice comment. Please press the like button. I would definitely agree with you on this one. And yeah, with it being said, let's go right now straight into the charts. Let's talk about what can happen next with Bitcoin in the upcoming hours. As you probably know, I am holding a long or a buying position of Bitcoin from approximately this specific area. Our first take profit was the gold Fibonacci ratio right here, and also the value area high. I was talking about this in my free VIP Discord server already a few days ago. We hit the bottom of the range here, and yeah, we got a rotation directly towards the value area high, and also, of course, right here, the golden Fibonacci ratio. So, to be honest, we have been trading the current price action quite nicely. And also where we are as of right now, there was a resistance level hit literally only a few minutes ago. I am going to talk about the level where we are right now in a moment. Actually, I can already right now show you one level here. It is the daily high term time frame area of resistance where Bitcoin is at the moment. Is this level the biggest resistance? To be honest, not really, but I'm going to talk about this one slightly later. Right now, let's go step by step. Let's start at the start, because, of course, we need to right now know that we are still right now getting some kind of a bounce approximately from the value area low. The value area low is again, of course, the area of support. We got a push towards downside. Bitcoin took the liquidity below the recent low. Nothing major. Like, we are talking about those trading setups. In my previous videos, I was mentioning that looking for the liquidity grabs at the support level, for example, at the value area low, ideally, of course, also at the golden Fibonacci ratio, can offer us beautiful long or buy opportunities. And if you were looking for a long position at the area of support, short or a sell position at the area of resistance, like probably you have been trading this specific range quite nicely. But there is something that I was paying attention to, or actually I noticed only a few days ago. and that is actually going to be on the daily time frame. I'm going to go with the volume indicator, something that I do think not a lot of people actually use, but the thing is, look right now at the volume indicator on this entire push towards the upside. Now, I don't want to be subjective with our predictions here. Of course, some things, and of course also one could say technical analysis itself, it is a subjective thing, but the thing is, I still want to look at the data as objectively as possible, and looking right now at the volume right here, looking right now on this entire push towards the upside. Now, you be the judge, but at least in my opinion, it does seem like volume is going lower and lower and lower. The entire time, Bitcoin is going higher and higher and higher. And usually, when we do see volume going lower and Bitcoin pushing higher, of course, it is going to be some kind of a bearish Bitcoin indication, some kind of a sign of weakness. Not only on the daily time frame, we can even zoom out on the weekly. Like, clearly you can right now see volume is not really coming in while Bitcoin is going higher and higher. And this concept with price action and with volume is a very simple to understand. If we are pushing higher on a high volume, something we got right here, bullish indication, let's look for higher. But the thing is, right here, volume right now, I mean, clearly does look like it is not being anything crazy on the weekly time frame, pushing towards the upside, which in my opinion, it is definitely going to be some kind of a sign of weakness. Also, on the monthly time frame, like clearly, of course, right here, volume is nothing crazy. Sure, we are getting a push up, and only in the next 4 days, we are going to close the monthly candle. And probably the volume of the monthly candle right here, it is going to be even lower than the previous one here. So logically thinking right now, like volume, clearly it is not coming in while Bitcoin is pushing higher. And also right now, not even looking at the volume, for example, going on the 4-hourly or the daily time frame, like the candles on this entire move up do not really look impulsive. They are quite small. I mean, the price action here does look kind of choppy. We are actually pushing towards the upside for a very long time. I mean, we can even right now measure this entire push up with the day trade here from the low here back towards this specific candle. It does look like that this entire push up has been taking almost a month. So for Bitcoin to go from 65,000 to 80,000 US dollar area, it has taken 28 days, almost a month of pushing towards the upside for Bitcoin to get this entire rotation from 65,000. So looking at this right now with the volume, looking only at the candlesticks, clearly we are not really looking super impulsive, let's just say. What we got impulsive right here was definitely this move down right here, also this move down, major big red candles towards upside. Bearish indication, but yeah, what we are getting right now, also choppy price action towards the upside, volume not really coming through. That is why I'm telling to you that looking for a short or a sell position, or at least some kind of a take profit on your long positions, in my opinion, is quite a smart idea. I'm not saying that tomorrow, for example, we cannot get one major green candle up towards 100,000 US dollars. Everything in the market is possible. I'm just right now trying to look at this specific data and see what simply makes the most sense. And right now with this entire rotation back up, like volume not really coming through, price action looking kind of choppy, that is why the only trade I'm right now interested in is simply going to be another short or a sell position. And that is right now when we need to talk about not only the symmetrical triangle. I mentioned in some of my previous videos, I'm definitely going to talk about this one. Not only we need to talk about the major rising wedge pattern here, but also I simply want to right now take a moment for us to see where Bitcoin is at the is right now trading in. So it is simply some kind of a horizontal range, and we are approximately at the mid-level of our horizontal range. Historically speaking, resistance, 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 resistance. Right now, clearly, of course, it is also going to be some kind of an area of resistance. So there is no doubt right now, Bitcoin, it is actually hitting some kind of a key level already where we are at the moment. Is this the best level for us to fire a high probability short or sell trade? In my opinion, no. And personally, I would actually not fire a short position where we are at the moment. Ideally, we are looking for higher, and I am going to show you exactly a beautiful price target above the recent high, where potentially we could actually go with a high probability short or a sell trade. If it doesn't play out, sure, we can even look for higher targets, which are going to be definitely above 80,000 US dollars, but more about it slightly later. Right now, we are still in the horizontal range on the 1 hourly time frame. And what are usually the most important levels in the range? Simply, we go right here with a fixed range volume profile, measuring the entire price action of the range, and clearly right now, as we speak, Bitcoin is hitting the value area high. Now, there is one very simple rule when it comes to the volume levels, or should I say when it comes to the levels in general. More times they are tested, the higher the likelihood of a breakdown, of course if it's the area of support, or of a break up if it's the area of resistance. For example, right here, we have been testing the value area low right here for many times, and more times we tested it, the higher the likelihood that the next test is actually going to be a major break towards downside. But I also need to ask ourselves, like, are we trading in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend? Overall right now, I mean, on the 1 hourly, for example, we have been forming higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Potentially right now still, of course, we can be expecting another higher high. And that is why, as of course we have been saying in my free VIP Discord server and also in my videos, I was telling to you that, at least in my opinion, it is better to fire a long or a buy trade. But of course, because right here, support is support until proven otherwise. And yes, we have been respecting the value area low. We got right here the acceptance above the level, right now the rotation back towards the value area high. And also right here, the value area high, it has been tested for many times. Right here, resistance, 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 resistance. Right now again, also the area of resistance. And I would definitely say, if we are right now going to be able to break our value area high towards the upside, see the acceptance above the level, bullish Bitcoin indication, in this scenario for sure, we are looking right here for a bigger rotation back towards the upside. Also, as I said before to you, the value area high right here is really not a random level. We go right now with our high term time frame levels, and clearly the daily level coming in approximately at our value area high. So we are right now already trading at some kind of an area of resistance. Again, would I fire a short here? To be honest, not really. Ideally, I want to see higher, and I'm going to show you one liquidity level, or actually I'm going to show you many liquidity levels slightly later. But nevertheless, where we are right now, it is already going to be the first very important area of resistance. But also right now, something I talked about in my previous video right here, I posted on 25th of April. Pretty much yesterday, I was talking about some kind of a symmetrical triangle that Bitcoin was forming at 77,600 US dollars. Like, this triangle, currently, it looks actually very nice. Why so? Because usually, if a lot of people are paying attention to the triangle or whatever pattern, probably it is not going to trade exactly well. What does that mean? If we go right now with our triangle, I'm going to extend the trend lines and actually connect also those lower highs. Also right here, I'm going to connect or actually extend the trend line here. And what you're going to notice, we got a deviation from the support level. Almost exactly what you want to see with the pattern. Why, you may ask? Because simply people are going to look and long at the support level right here. But the thing is, we get a deviation right here, and also we can trap even more people that are going to go with the breakdown trade out of the triangle. What does that mean? They look to fire a short position because, of course, apparently we are breaking towards the downside. We trap them right here, and right, of course, we are getting right here a rotation back towards the upside. Again, if you're right now asking me, is the area where we are a good long position? I would say no to you, because usually, again, you want to long at the support level, you want to short at the area of resistance. Are we right now at the area of resistance? What we said before, it is the daily level and also the value area high. Does that mean we cannot get a rejection, or actually that we cannot continue higher? Sure, we can continue higher. Ideally right here, I would like to see a breakout out of our triangle, literally straight towards the upside. And again, going with the trend line here, I'm going to measure the price target of the triangle, again, going with the trend line right here. and you can see that the target is going to come in at approximately, or let's just say almost exactly at 80,000 US dollars, 79,850. Let's just say it is going to right now be the price target of the triangle if Bitcoin right here, right now, does continue higher towards our previous high, for at least right here to also take the liquidity at this specific area at 79,500 US dollars. So I am right now in long positions on Bitcoin, ideally looking for a big rotation back up. Also, if I'm correct, I'm in a long trade on Ethereum and also on XRP. So later I'm going to also go through XRP and also Ethereum, but nevertheless, you're probably right there wondering what is my main plan with Bitcoin. And as you probably know, we have been talking about the rising wedge pattern here for a very long time. I still do think that looking at this specific rising wedge pattern is quite a smart move because it looks almost, I would say, of course, it does look almost perfect, but also I would say if Bitcoin does go right here higher, ideally, again, we get some kind of a deviation from the level. Why a deviation? What we said before, we got right here also a deviation out of our triangle. Get people bearish, pump it towards the upside. Also right here, get people bullish on some kind of a breakout, and then dump it towards the downside. That is, in my opinion, going to be an ideal scenario. Also, when you look at the rising wedges, right, you also can talk about some kind of a three-wave price structure on every single move towards the upside. So what you can write to see when we go with our elite impulsive wave, we can write to say we got right here an impulse correction. Also right here, ideally, we are looking for the fifth elite wave. So I'm actually going to pull this elite wave count in the folder. And also here, with the first one, and also with the third one, and also ideally with the fifth one as well, we are going to get, right here, looking at the three-wave price structure in the impulsive wave. What does it mean? Let's go right now with our elite correction wave. We can write to say, we got right here, an A wave, B wave, C wave right here. Also right here, A wave, B wave, C wave. Also right here, on the move up, A wave, B wave, C wave right here, and also right here on the move towards downside, it is going to be more of a complex correction, or should I say more of a complexive ABC, but nevertheless we can say A, B, and then C correction back towards downside, looking right now ideally for what? You might even guess that right here, A, B, C, move towards the upside. So let's try to see if Bitcoin potentially in the upcoming hours, it is right now going to get something like this. I'm going to show you later where our A elite wave can potentially be in for some kind of a very small rejection back down, and then for Bitcoin to then also get the final push up for us to finish this entire ABC correction. We finish the entire fifth elite wave of the bigger rising wedge pattern, and only then we might even fire another short or a sell position. And of course, if you watched my previous video right here, you probably know exactly about the price target that we talked about when we were paying attention to this specific rising wedge. It's a target I have been mentioning for a very long time because we have been paying attention to our major ascending channel for also quite a long time. Right now on the daily, I'm not using the log scale here, it is a normal scale. You can see that the level, or should I say the top of the ascending channel, it is going to come in at approximately 80,200 US dollar area, let's just say, right? So clearly, this specific level here, it is going to be a very important one if Bitcoin now does continue higher. I'm just curious, I haven't checked this before, but I'm just curious, what if we enable the log scale? Can we also talk about the ascending channel? In this scenario, the top here was not hit, but of course, we could hit it maybe even, or actually, let me just try and adjust it slightly. So we do have some kind of an alignment here. In this scenario, 81,000 US dollars. So slightly higher, of course, if we are right now using the log scale, but oops, slightly higher if we are going with the log scale here, but nevertheless still very, very similar to the one without the log scale, with the normal scale, being at approximately 80,000, or should I say 81,000 US dollars. Doesn't really matter, like this area, in my opinion, very important one, especially if Bitcoin right now does continue higher with a low volume. If this is then the case, very high probability, we are talking about the rising wedge here, we hit the target of our symmetrical triangle, and only then we might be looking right here for a bigger rotation back towards downside. Also right now, like when you go with the Bitcoin liquidation heat map on the 3-day time frame, I am going to refresh the website, so we do have right here the latest data. I'm going to go here with the symbol. and let's go first of all with the 3-day time frame. This one, it is actually right now showing to us that the biggest liquidations are going to come in. Let's just see right here at 78,800 US dollars. So 78,800, it is going to be approximately at this specific area. And why is this level right here such an important one? If you watched the video from 2 days ago, or actually 1 day ago, you know exactly why this area is actually the level that you should really not ignore, where potentially Bitcoin right here might get an A wave right here, B wave, and only then the C elite wave straight towards the upside. Look right now at this specific structure. Like, it really does look like we have been forming right here many lower highs. And because those are lower highs, with this specific push-up, the liquidity above this high has not been taken. On this push-up right here, the liquidity above this high also has not been taken. So that pretty much right now means not only there is one liquidity level, there are 3 liquidity levels exactly at the area of approximately 78,700 US dollars. The first one right here being the highest one. Then of course we also have this one, and then also right here another one. Is Bitcoin already right now taking some liquidity above those specific liquidity levels? It does look like we just took the liquidity above this high. Ideally, of course, also according to the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we do go right here slightly higher, and then we do get right here some kind of a rejection back towards downside. Also right now, when we do go and zoom out even further on the 1 week time frame, this one is showing to us literally a very similar story, with the biggest liquidations being higher and not lower. So this one right here is going to land at approximately 79,600 US dollars, exactly above the recent highs, where over 184 million of short trades are going to get liquidated. But also right here on the 2 week time frame, the story is very, very similar. The biggest liquidations on Bitcoin right now are coming in exactly above the recent highs. So this one right here is definitely right now confirming us that ideally we are looking here for a bigger push up and only then a rejection back down, because clearly also right here we do have quite a lot of liquidation. So this right here right now is my logic. Looking at this on the 30-minute time frame, right? I think clearly does look like we are potentially right now finishing an impulse right here, correction, under impulse, under correction, right now potentially finishing also some kind of a 5-wave price structure towards the upside. Once the 5th elite wave, ideally we go slightly higher towards this liquidity level, but if we get right now already a rejection, we can then say 5-wave structure finished here. We then got right here an A wave. We are looking then for the B wave, and only then another rotation back towards the upside. The final one, we take the liquidity above this high, and only then, of course, a major rejection back down could potentially happen. Later, I am going to show you exactly what is going to be the target if Bitcoin does actually break this specific area and does continue higher. But again, we need to trade from level to level. And right now, the first major target I'm right now paying attention to right here, it is simply going to be above the high right here at approximately 80,000 US dollars. Also right now, are we right now in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend? I already shared this with you before, but nevertheless, going with the exponential moving averages, 30-minute, 1 hourly, 2 hourly, also 4 hourly time frame, all of them are right now saying to us we are in an uptrend. Does that mean that we cannot get a dump here? Of course not. We can potentially right here already get a major dump right here, but the thing is, we need to first of all trade from level to level, and also I don't want to guess where the top is going to be. I know where potentially the top can be because I know exactly what is now going to be the next very important area, but the thing is, can we right to get something like this? For sure we can. If Bitcoin starts losing the value area low here, in this scenario, we are looking right here for a bigger rotation back towards downside. Are we right to losing the volume level? Of course not. Are we right now in an uptrend? Yes, we are. That is why, ideally first, as we said before, we are looking for a push up, take some liquidity above the recent highs, hit our major price target, and only then potentially, of course, right here, do get right there another rejection back towards the downside. However, what if we go higher, we don't see any reactions here, and Bitcoin continues pumping much higher towards the upside? What is in this scenario going to be our next very important price target? I'm going to go here on the, let's actually go on the daily time frame. We go with our Fibonacci retracement from the swing high back towards the swing low here. And the golden Fibonacci ratio, it is going to be our next target. If the $80,000 area is not going to hold, which I do think we do have quite a high probability of holding, but nevertheless, if we continue higher, the golden Fibonacci ratio in this scenario is then going to be the next important target you should really pay attention to. You might be asking why, and this golden pocket here is actually not a random level. Go right now with the Bitcoin semi-futures chart and you can right to see we are still trading at this specific semi-gap, right? So when you go with Fibonacci, you go again from the high here back towards the low. The top of the semi-gap, it is going to be the golden Fibonacci ratio. But the thing is, my thinking here, it is slightly different than most people. I do think that most people are going to right now expect Bitcoin filling the entire semi-gap. And that is why, of course, I'm trying to be one step ahead of everyone else. So if we get right here a push towards the upside, again, above the recent high, we get then a rejection back down, I'm already going to look to fire a short or a sell position approximately at this area. So how is this one going to look like? Short position, stop loss above the recent high here, looking for a bigger rotation back towards downside. If I get stopped out of this specific short trade, sure, in this scenario, we can be looking for higher. We can be looking for Bitcoin to actually then go and fill the entire semi-gap here at $84,000. But again, I do think a lot of people are going to expect exactly this. Fill the gap and only then potentially do go lower. That is why ideally we front run them, we don't fill the semi gap, we only right now grab the liquidity above this high and then we dump it straight towards downside. Again, I don't know if this right here is actually going to happen, but nevertheless I do know that this area right here is definitely a very important one where potentially we might be looking right here for another short or a sell trade. Now, additionally, how is the Ehler stochastic CG oscillator right now looking like on the daily and also on the 1 week time frame? Because here you're going to see we are curving up and tomorrow probably we are going to be approximately at this specific area. The next day then we hit the overbought area and then ideally Bitcoin is then also grabbing the liquidity above the recent high here. We are ideally then trading at the top of our ascending channel, grabbing the liquidity here, hitting the target, and only then we start curving back down on the Ehler stochastic CG oscillator. Also, of course, when you zoom out on the 2 week time frame, clearly we are already being in the overbought area. So this indicator is right to saying to us, at least on the weekly, you should be slightly more careful, especially if Bitcoin right now right here, this continues slightly higher because we are going to hit a major target that also right now is telling to us we might be looking for a rejection back down because of this indicator right here being in the overbought area. Also, the lower targets, if we then get a rejection back down, are also going to be very easily definable. Is this even a word? We can easily define this the support levels if Bitcoin right here does get a rejection back down. We go with our Fibonacci again from the low here back towards the high. This golden pocket, the first important one because it's actually being exactly below the recent low. The second golden Fibonacci ratio from the low here back towards the high, it is going to be slightly lower, but this one right here, the bottom one, it does align almost perfectly with this major trendline area of support that was broken towards the upside only a few days ago. So this major trend line connecting the all-time high with the lower high is coming in exactly almost at the lower golden Fibonacci ratio, which I would definitely say it's a very nice target if we do get right here another rotation back down. But again, ideally, let's see first of all if Bitcoin potentially at the area where we are, we break the level here, we go higher, take the liquidity above this high, and only then potentially, of course, we get right here a big rotation back towards downside. So I'm right now again paying attention to the value area high. As we said before, this area where we are right now, it is a first area of resistance. Also, it does align nicely with the goal with the daily high term time frame level. So clearly, it is a very important one. But again, also what we said before, potentially it can be right here an A wave, B wave right here, and then also we ideally get right here another rotation back up for the finished ABC correction. That is right now why if you want to trade with us, take an advantage of the free bonus using the second link down below. No KYC KYC, no VPN, and also a free 20,000 US dollar bonus because you register, you register and you deposit. You're going to get a beautiful trading bonus right here. But also, the more you're going to trade, the bigger rewards you're going to get, including an iPhone 17 and also an iPhone 17 Pro Max. But also, the better you're going to trade, the bigger rewards you're going to get. So, for example, if you're right now right here looking for some kind of a trade, definitely taking an advantage of the bonus right here, it does make quite a lot of sense. But also right here, thank you for smashing up the like button. Let me right now look at the chat here. Then also, I would like to go with Ethereum and also with XRP because I definitely still want to talk about other altcoins, how we can potentially trade Ethereum and also XRP in the upcoming hours. But nevertheless, let's right now see what you're saying in the chat here. Bro, please stop spamming. How this guy doesn't stutter? I mean, trying my best. George, you here? 7 straight candle rule. Bitcoin 5 on daily, 4 on weekly, and 2 on monthly. We have 5 months green to go on monthly. To be honest, I haven't heard about this. I haven't heard about this one right here. To be honest, but interesting. Can you explain why you use the log scale on the short time frame? No. Usually, I do use log scale on a higher term time frame and not on a short one. So that is why before I switched, when I went on the daily, I went with the log scale because on the daily and on the weekly and also on the monthly, I do think that log scale is the chart that it is more nicely respected. On the 4-hourly, 2-hourly, 1-hourly, 30-minute time frame, and also of course on lower time frames, I wouldn't be using the log scale, to be honest. Simply go with the normal scale if you're trading anything below the daily time frame. On the daily, I would potentially already then go with the log scale, but of course weekly, monthly, ideally you want to go with the log scale. Yeah, for example right here, if you're going to go with Fibonacci, for example, from the high back towards the low, and you go with or without the log scale, the targets are going to be very similar. If you go with the log scale, they are going to be slightly lower. But nevertheless, I do prefer, in this scenario at least, going without the log scale because the golden Fibonacci ratio in this scenario does align nicely with the top of the semi gap. But again, usually on higher term time frames, you want to be using the log scale. Lower time frames, no log scale. Simply use the normal one. Let's see. Welcome everyone. Toshi, welcome to the live stream. 1,000 likes is sure possible. I would definitely agree with you on this one. Is Bitcoin's downtrend over after breaking the daily trend line, or can it still drop? If it drops, could the top be around 85,000? I would say yes. I still do think that sure, we can go higher. Sure, we can even hit 100,000 US dollars, but I don't really think that this right here is actually the bottom formation. I was thinking about making a video talking about a bigger ETF count right here, which is still looking bearish. It is potentially saying to us, sure, we can go right here higher if, of course, right now a rejection is not going to happen. But then I'm still expecting another push towards the upside, simply because this structure right here, it seems unfinished. Why so? We are forming higher lows. And look right now, almost at every single previous bottom right here, we usually take the liquidity below the first push down. So for example, right here, we got a push down. The liquidity was swept. This right here could be the bottom. Bitcoin bounces towards the upside. But of course, we got right here another push down. Liquidity taken. We got right here a rotation back up. Also, for example, before we got this major push up. First, when we got the push down here, liquidity was swept, and then we started moving higher. And those liquidity sweeps usually happen, I wouldn't actually say usually, always in the previous, in the historical price action, we get a liquidity grab before this major reversal actually happens on Bitcoin. That is why, right here where we are, we got a push down. But the low right here hasn't been swept. I do think there is a very high probability Bitcoin does get a major push down. It can happen where we are right now, from the area of, let's just say, 80,000 US dollars, or we go first higher and then lower. But ideally, of course, we are looking for a rejection approximately at this area. That is why, as I said before to you, I'm looking right here definitely for another short or sell position. But yeah, this right here, a very good question. Okay, I already answered this one. Do you have room in your private group still? Yes, the group right now is still open. Click the link down below in the description right here. Click the link, this one. Yeah, pretty much click the link right here. You join the free VIP Discord group where I am posting some more updates. once, for example, support levels are being hit, once potentially Bitcoin hits some kind of an area of resistance, I update the group so you actually know that we are trading at a very important level. Then, of course, it's up to you if you want to actually then execute on a trade. I don't provide signals. I do provide technical analysis. I don't want you to be relying on me for the signals because, again, I can give you pretty much, in my opinion, it is one of the best technical analysis you're going to find online. I don't look at any other one from other people, technical analysis. I do my own, and that is also the one that I follow for my own trading. So up to you if you want to take a trade or not. I just give you the technical analysis, but then of course it is up to you for you to manage the trade, for you to have proper risk management, because of course I don't know with how much you're trading. I don't know how aggressive you want to enter the position. That is why this is of course going to be up to you. But I can definitely share with you where potentially you might be looking for a long, where potentially you want to be looking for a short position, and so far we have been predicting this specific price action quite nicely. Let's see. I tend to trade small time. I wait for the market to commit to the direction, then open 80 to 100 Bitcoin positions and quickly buy and sell. I mean, if it works for you, great, man. If you're being profitable with this one, that is very nice. The Discord is not free though. The Discord, it is completely for free. I don't take a penny from you when you join a Discord server. But of course, you need to then, I mean, pretty much everything right here, it is explained how you can join the group. You need to, of course, have an account on one of the exchanges. For example, Bybit, Bitunix, 2bit, or maybe even Pionex right here. You deposit 150 to your account and you do not even have to trade. So you deposit your own money to the exchange. I don't get this 150. You can withdraw it anytime. So if you look like that, yes, the Discord server, it is completely for free. But yeah, you need to deposit 150 to your account. However, of course, also you can withdraw anytime you want. So again, it is completely for free. Let's see. Go with the gold. I mean, I do think Bitcoin, it is digital gold. So in this case, yeah, I mean, you can also go with Bitcoin, right? So I would prefer Bitcoin because like gold, sure, it has been pumping very, very nicely. However, look right now how nicely Bitcoin price has been growing for the past many, many years, let's just say. I mean, gold, if you bought it, sure, you made some money. But the thing is, Bitcoin right here, I would definitely say it can be digital gold because clearly you can notice how much we increased in price. 35,500% towards the upside, which it is quite substantial, right? So that is why, in my opinion, if you're right now looking for investments, going with Bitcoin, clearly it's not really that... it is actually quite a smart idea, right? Yeah, we are going to go through Ethereum in a moment. Can you tell us with what amount of money you open trades, short or long, no matter, 10, 15,000 or more? I would say I actually do trade with a very nice amount of capital. I'm not going to expose my trading portfolio, my trading capital, but the thing is, I do trade with a very nice amount. Do with this information as you wish. Yeah. Let's see. So do you never wait for a break of structure after a liquidity sweep? Like, do you just enter directly with a stop loss at the high? Yes. Usually, if you trade the liquidity grab, for example, we trade, for example, let me right now look at the, yeah, for example, right here, what happened only a few hours ago? Like, you got right here a liquidity sweep, right? What does it mean? You get the candle close above the recent low. So this one right here, it's a perfect example. You could, of course, also go on the 30-minute or the 15-minute time frame. Let's just say you use the 15-minute time frame, right? So you got the candle close above the low. How is this trade going to look like? You go with a long trade right here. You go with the stop loss below the recent low. You could right here potentially target, I mean, the daily, or also, yeah, pretty much where we are right now getting a rejection off of is pretty much, it is pretty much a textbook rejection. So potentially you got a, you target the daily level, right? In this scenario, this trade is 3 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Now, if you, for example, wait for some kind of a change of structure or break of structure, as you mentioned, you then need to wait for some kind of a higher high. Like, if you use, for example, 15-minute time frame, right? You got right here the low, you got the high here, low. I mean, technically speaking, you can then be looking for a long position approximately at this area, or potentially potentially if you go right here on the 5-minute time frame, you got right here a push up. We took this specific high and then we started moving towards the upside, looking for a potential buy position approximately here. Like, clearly, this long position from this specific area, it gave you quite a good entry. So no, I usually do not wait for a break of structure when we do get right here a successful liquidity grab, because your entry, it is going to be slightly later. The thing is, you could go with it still because it increases the probability of the trade playing out. But the thing is, you can get a better entry using just a liquidity sweep and closing the candle above the recent low. Of course, if the level is a nice one. I wouldn't trade a liquidity level or liquidity sweep blindly. It needs to happen at a key level. For example, this one right here was still happening approximately at the value area low. We were still in an uptrend. That is why, of course, ideally, we were looking right here for another rotation back up. So no, I don't always wait for the break of structure. But of course, you could potentially, for example, 50% of the entry is on the liquidity sweep, then 50%, or should I say, you add to your position once we then do get the break of structure. I use Bitcoin Hyper as my indicator. I mean, very nice. Let's see. Brother, I tried to use your referral code for Bybit, but it wasn't working. I really do hope... I mean, I do know there is a problem with the bot on Discord because Discord apparently changed something in their backend. So Bybit is right now fixing the bot right here. So this one right now, it is actually not working. If you're going to click right here on Bybit, it is going to give you an error. But hopefully the affiliate link right here is working. So I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that the bot right here does have right now some problems. Let's see. Okay. With that being said, I do think we need to right now talk about Ethereum, and also then we are going to go with XRP. Also, one thing about Bitcoin Hyper Indicator. I haven't done any major announcements or anything like that, but there is right now being an indicator available. If you are in my free VIP Discord server, you go right here with Bitcoin, you probably are going to notice that, yeah, right here. On 18th of April, I posted this indicator right here. It is called Hyperwave. It is not released to the public just yet, but it is being right now almost completely finished. So this indicator right here, it is going to be released in the upcoming, let's just say, weeks. I've done actually a lot of testing for it, and to be honest, like, it works quite nicely. I don't want to right now apply it on the chart. Of course, I do have access to it because I am the original creator of it. I've worked with my team for quite some time right now to actually almost perfect all of the signals that you get with this specific indicator. But the thing is, currently we are getting a slight bearish divergence on the daily time frame on the Hyperwave indicator. So it is showing to us some weakness in the charts. That is why, of course, I'm also telling to you that looking for a short trade, in my opinion, it is going to be quite a smart idea. Yeah, like the indicator, it is going to become available very, very soon, let's just say. Okay, with that being said, let's go right now with Ethereum, and then also we can go with XRP. So with Ethereum, right here, this golden Fibonacci ratio, like, you be the judge. Was it hit or it was not hit? I talked about this with a specific support level in my in the live stream previous week. So 1 week ago, we talked about the golden Fibonacci ratio and also this liquidity level. So I am going to right now remove this. And let's talk about what is going to be the next target. Let's first of all apply the high-term time frame levels on the chart. This daily level, it has been beautifully respected already. I just want to see if we do potentially have any new weekly levels, no new weekly levels, daily levels. This daily tapped, this one is where we are right now. So for example, right now where Ethereum is, it is hitting the daily level very nicely. We also do have right here another daily level. So let me pull both of those levels in the folder right here like this. Okay. I do have a trend line here that Ethereum is right now approaching very, very much. So I do think that we could potentially break it for a brief moment, something like this, and then get a fake out and then get a rejection back down. So, I mean, Bitcoin has already broken this level towards the upside. Ethereum is right now still trading below it. If you go without the log scale, you are going to see that we are doing a pretty much exactly the same thing as on Bitcoin. This level has been broken towards the upside already a few days ago. But the thing is, I would prefer to go with the log scale because we are using the daily time frame, and currently we are still below the level. So ideally, what I'm going to be looking for right here is going to be another push up, fake out, take the liquidity, dump it back down. That is right here going to be pretty much a very similar setup as on Bitcoin. But I just want to see if there are any other levels that we need to be paying attention to above the recent high here. So let's go on the daily. I'm going to go with the channel here. So let's go with the channel. We go from the low here. We are going to be connecting the higher lows, extending this one higher. I mean, okay. So if you go with this high, then you connect this one, and this one. In this scenario, the level is going to come in at approximately 2,500 US dollars. And also here, we took this one. Okay. I can already see what level we are going to be targeting. This one right here. I think it has been taken. Has it? Okay, yeah. It has not been hit. Beautiful. I really like this level. I really like this level. It is on the daily, right? Yeah, it is on the daily. Let me go on the 4 hourly. Let me see something here. Let's go on the liquidity. I just want to zoom in to see how this looks. Yeah, okay. Beautiful. I really like this level. This one was... high was 71. This one is... okay. I like the level right here. The liquidity. I am going to set an alert here on Ethereum right here. Beautiful level for liquidity purposes, being exactly above the high, also approximately at the top of our ascending channel, and also it's going to mean that Bitcoin or Ethereum is going to start breaking the trend line. This level is, in my opinion, a very important one. So, for example, if we get something like this, push up, starts closing the candles below the recent high, potential short trade, looking, of course, right here for a rotation back down. Beautiful level here on Ethereum, where I do have right here an alert set. Also, let's see something else. Let me measure this entire price action. We are at the value area high right now. We are at the resistance, and also I do believe it is the golden Fibonacci ratio. Yes, it is. So locally, very similar as on Bitcoin, we are right on trading at the resistance. If broken towards the upside, the next level, in my opinion, it is going to be this specific liquidity level. But yeah, right now, clearly local area of resistance. Would I go long here? No, because it's resistance. Would I go short here? I mean, I would go much rather with a short than a long because, again, it is the resistance level. But ideally, I'm looking right here for a breakout and then for Ethereum to also reach the liquidity level above the recent high at approximately 2,471.78 US dollars. XRP, this one, we got a push down, we hit the golden Fibonacci ratio, took some liquidity below the recent low, and right now, we might even be forming right here some kind of a triangle. So connecting the higher lows, connecting the lower highs, like it can be some kind of a triangle. I'm not going to trade this one, but yeah, let's try to see where we do have the biggest levels. I am going to go right here. We do have the daily levels, but this daily, for example, this daily, it has been hit. This daily, it has not been hit. I am going to leave it on the chart. Let's see where we have another high term time frame level here. We do have the weekly level on XRP slightly lower right here. So that is going to be our weekly level. Monthly, it is going to be probably formed in the upcoming days, but we are going to go with this level later. Once, of course, the monthly level, it is going to be confirmed. Daily, let's see. Okay, so we do have some daily levels here. This daily level, the high was 407. Wait, this high? Yeah. 5407. This is 540. 20. So this one, it is still going to be the daily. Okay. This is the daily level. We have another daily level right here. Okay. We have daily support level right here. Okay. Then we have another daily support level right here. We do have daily resistance. Okay. It also hasn't been tapped before. Okay. So let me make a new folder. I'm not even sure why I don't have a folder right here. So let's go high term time frame levels. Bam. Okay, we have the daily level here, which it does align with the golden Fibonacci ratio. So this level here, it is the first local level of resistance on XRP. Nothing major. I wouldn't really necessarily short here. Ideally, I would like to see a bigger push up. The golden pocket, if we go with the high here towards the low, it has also been hit. So I would say like that, like on XRP, let me also see something else. If we measure this entire price action, let's go on the daily. Value area high, where we are approximately right now. If we go with this one, value area high at the daily. Okay, I would say right now XRP's biggest resistance is the daily level right here, approximately 147. It is going to be the first important level I would be aware of. If higher, of course, then we talk about the higher daily level. But I would say the first one is definitely going to be this daily at 1.4749 US dollars for XRP. Do we have any other levels aligning here? I'm just curious if we go with the anchor. Okay, Anchored VWAP is coming in at the upper daily. I would say like that, like the first one is this one. If of course then Bitcoin does continue higher, this one probably is also going to go higher. Then we have the anchored VWAP and then also the upper daily. So I would say like with XRP, I would be shorting it after I also go with a short position on Bitcoin, which pretty much means we go higher here, ideally take the liquidity, then get a rejection back down. We are looking for a short approximately here. Then also, of course, XRP, if we are at this daily or maybe at this daily, probably we are going to be at this one. We can then also, of course, potentially look to fire another short resell trade. But yeah, so far, XRP has been chopping around. Ethereum, yeah, also beautiful rotations towards the downside, towards the upside. Right now, the golden Fibonacci ratio, the next major target, this liquidity level. For Bitcoin, the next major target above the recent high. So we do have right here a very simple, easy to follow plan. And yeah, currently, I do think that in the upcoming week, we are probably going to get a very nice trading setup formed. Make sure to destroy the like button, everyone. I would definitely agree with John Hunter 89. Definitely smash up the like button. Thank you very much. After an hour of labor, when I held the handle of the cup in my hands of the coffee, okay, interesting. I hope we get a quick recovery back above 100,000 to settle the debate once and for all. To be honest, 100,000 does seem kind of high, to be honest. I do think, of course, sure, we can go higher, but we need to go step by step, right? 80,000, then 85,000. Only then we might look for, let's just say, 100,000. But first, in my opinion, is the 80,000 US dollar zone, especially looking at the volume, something we were talking about earlier in the live stream at the start. Volume is not really, really coming in the market, while Bitcoin right now is pushing higher, which, in my opinion, it is kinda red flag for BTC, right? When are you gonna share your sniper entry, bro? I mean, usually I do share my exact trades. Like I do show you the where I enter. If you watch my videos on YouTube, you see exactly where my entry was. But the thing is, when you see it in the moment, once we are going to be at the high, once we are going to be getting potentially also a successful swing failure pattern, then of course it is up to you if you want to enter or not. But of course, I literally gave you right here my entire plan. So if you follow it, sure, potentially you can make money. Sure, potentially you can also lose money if it's not going to play out. Nevertheless, in both scenarios, you really need to have proper stop loss placement, proper position size, stuff like that. 50k level for 4, is it possible? I think next month. I do think lower than 60,000 is possible. The question is when. But I do think very high probability the recent low at 60,000, it is going to get taken, simply because it's a major liquidity level that usually before the bottom forms gets swept. And so far, we haven't really swept the recent low. Stop loss for Bitcoin short position, where it should be, in my opinion, above the high that is going to be formed. So for example, you get a push up here, you get a small rejection. Very simply, we enter a short position, setting a stop loss exactly above the high. If I get stopped out of this trade, and then we get another, for example, let's say Bitcoin does get something like this. I got a very nice question. Actually, I'm going to share with you a picture. Someone DM'd me today on Discord and shared with me a very nice picture. Give me a moment. And he asked me if I do think it's a good entry. Let me right now try and have the exact same picture here also. So for example, right here, you have the liquidity level, right? Let me also mark out this liquidity level real quick. You get a liquidity level here. Let me also remove everything else. Let's remove this one. Let's remove the daily. So you get a push toward the upside. You get a push down. You enter a short position here. You have a stop loss above the high. You get another push up here. And then finally, we start moving lower. So with this scenario, I get stopped out once. Now, why? Because, of course, I go with a short position right here. I set a stop loss above the high. I clearly get stopped out, right? So this trade was lost. Then I also go with another trade because the setup right here, it is still valid. I'm going to go with a short trade after this liquidity right here above this high, this gets swept. So in this scenario, of course, you then need to also go with another liquidity level. You go with a short here, stop loss above the high. And only then, let's see if Bitcoin right here does get a bigger push down. Now, maybe someone is going to ask me, bro, why don't you have a wider stop loss on the first liquidity grab? Maybe, I don't know, at 80,500 US dollars. In this scenario, with this push up right here, you would not get stopped out. Now, Why so? Is simply because you, first of all, you don't know how high the second push is going to be. So for example, we might even go right here and then get a rejection back down. Or also another reason is going to be the risk to reward ratio at the end of the day. Usually it is better if you simply lose one trade and then go with another one with a tighter stop loss. How does that mean? So let's just say you go with this trade, you don't get stopped out, and we are targeting, I don't know, let's just say we target this recent low, right? With this trade, you do have 3.36 to 1 risk to reward ratio. So let's go for us to calculate slightly easier. Let's go right here. Let's say we have this stop loss, this take profit with 3 to 1 risk to reward. So this right here is our trade. We of course win it because if we get right here a bigger rejection back down, let's say we make 3 to 1 or I mean in trading terms, this right here is going to be a 3R trade. Let's say we get stopped out once. So for example, right here, we enter a position, we go with a stop loss right here. In this scenario, we do have minus 1R. So we lost a trade, right? Then we go with another one. Let's just say we enter after the successful swing failure pattern. We have the stop loss, again, above the high. And now the target is going to be, okay, I see, yeah, the target is going to be, I didn't go with this low. I mean, let's just say right now the target was the same as on this trade. It was 9.3. Let's just say 9, right? So we have plus 9R. At the end of the day, we made plus 8R on this exact setup right here versus right here on the wider stop loss with 3R. Sure, right here you got stopped out once, but the risk to reward of the second trade here was so good that even though we got stopped out once, we still made much more money. So it was 8R in comparison to 3R, which you be the judge, but it clearly does look like it is, yeah, 2.5 times what we made with like wider stop loss, right? So clearly, usually you want to have, at least in my opinion, it is better. You get stopped out once, but of course, you should not be afraid to re-enter a position if the setup looks valid. And yeah, in this scenario, if we get something like this, I am going to get stopped out once. I re-enter a position after another liquidity graph, of course, if it does happen, and if the setup is still valid. But of course, in this scenario, I'm going to make more money at the end of the day versus if I do have right here a wider stop loss. And with that being said, thank you very much if you smash up the like button right here, because 1,000 likes, sure, it's possible. If you want to trade with us, you can use the links down below in the description. You register, you deposit, you're going to get a beautiful bonus. You can join my free VIP Discord server right here. But also right now, thank you everyone for watching the live stream. I really do hope you enjoyed it. If not, subscribe to the channel and watch tomorrow's video because I'm quite sure it's also going to be a very interesting one. Thank you ever so much for watching today. Have an amazing rest of your day. See you tomorrow. And of course, peace out, everyone.
Italic, clapping, italic, impress. Happy and clapping, italic is impressed. Vitalik clapping, 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 clapping. Vitalik clapping, clapping.